screenplay?
Yeah, I always said that my films are not about the special effects, but special affects. You know what I mean? I really create the environment for them to really, first of all, I shoot this film chronologically. All my films I shoot it chronologically. So that really helps me, the actors, and even I will say the cinematographer and all the crew members to really be navigated in an emotional way that really helps things. In real places, with real people, non-actors. I have kind of elements that I help myself. Because once you are in production, all what you have written doesn't worth nothing, I have to say. As a director, you have to transcend the text. You have to not interpretate, is not the right word. You have to transform in another language, in another territory, what is just a guide, I don't know, in a way. You can have a lot of key elements, but at the end it's a technical guide, which is helpful to, it's like a GPS in case you get lost. But it's sure that you will get lost, because then you have to take over, you have to transcend it. And I have to say that I need my actors to really getting them into the flesh and bones of what I thought it would be. And I try to really be very helpful to them in terms of the most important thing as a director that I have learned is to talk to them very few words, very specific, and talk to them in action verbs. That's really important to whoever wants to direct. I mean, I have seen so many directors, friends of mine, young directors, committing this mistake of, you know, talking about the past of this character and blah, 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 blah. And then the actors are just with the eyes like that, and they don't know how to translate that in action. And at the end, if you reduce, and when I said to you action verbs, it's very difficult to arrive to an action verb. What that scene is about, what the film is about, what that scene is about, what that character wants, what the action verb that really can synthesize that, what he wants, and how he will get that. And these 3-4 questions get me months of work, but if I reduce that and synthesize and get to the actor and said, you will just go and seduce that, this is about this, and you will do, then I save him a lot of trouble, and I save myself a lot of trouble. So I try to be very clear. That's the way I write, very prepared.
You said something that really fascinated me. All your films have been shot in chronological order?
All.
Even the fractured, the structure lines, and how does that work? You shoot it all in chronological, and is the script in such a way that?
Well, when we were doing the script, we were jumping in time, and I was the most important thing for me. I would say 2 things. That's an interesting territory, because in the other films that were multi-structure lines and the storylines that were crossing, there was 3 different kind of things, even when the people say, they are the multi-lines. And it's not true. Each of them were very different. Amores Perros was a rock and roll piece, and it was basically 3 stories that get together in one single act, one single thing, crash. The other one, 21 Grams, was more like a jazzy, completely a jazzy structure. It was no scene has nothing to do with the next one. That was the exercise that we were doing. So no scene was related to the one before, and when they laid that was the exercise. It was a super jazzy kind of thing. But it was not 3 stories. It was one single story told in 3 different points of view. That was a completely different exercise. And Babel, which was more like an operistic kind of exercise, there was 4 stories that physically never was related one to the other. They never touch each other. One character never know about the existence of the other. That was the exercise. That physically they are completely apart and they are related emotionally, thematically. And always I shoot it chronologically because in a way, physically, I wanted to be involved emotionally with the journey of the characters, and I want the actors to really help. And it's very expensive, by the way, and logistically it's a nightmare. The line producer wants to kill you. But honestly, it helps. Now, when you are editing, as I tell you, the process is so different when you are writing, when you are producing, when you are filming, than when you are editing, as many of you have experienced. Is that then when I was editing, that's what Bergman said, that's the 3-dimension of the film. That's when really a film is written. That's when really the film is a film, not just these industrial products that you see in the dailies. This is when really the film takes over and you find the time and the space. And I was much more interested in the emotional congruence of the events than actually I would say, the chronologically importance of the events, which is very different, you know, and that was fascinating for me. That's only something that I have been taking care a lot of the physical chronological thing. It didn't have any meaning when I was editing at all. But it helped me in that time, and then it didn't help me that time.